Hey guys, welcome. Today we'll talk about the two drugs that have really shaken up the bodybuilding world in the last 2 decades or so. So there's growth hormone and insulin. Starting with growth hormone. Growth hormone has been around since the 70s. It's a peptide hormone. It's basically 191 amino acids. And the functions are, it burns fat, it rejuvenates the skin, it helps with building muscle, helps with strengthening ligaments. So all around great. At the beginning it was made out of cadavers. Then we found a better way after people got sick and we synthesized it. So in the 80s, the physiques you see that are much more polished, much more finished. That's the result of growth hormone use. So like I said, growth hormone helps with building muscle, burning fat. Great, right? Best drug ever. Well, there's a couple of points to it. First of all, growth hormone by itself is very, very weak. So in terms of building muscle on its own, it doesn't even come near, let's say, testosterone or D-bol or whatever, any anabolic steroids. In terms of burning fat, it's nowhere near as good as clenbuterol, ephedrine, or T3. So if you use it by itself, you'll be disappointed. Then there's the price point. To do it properly, you need about $1,500 a month. However, growth hormone really shines in combination with other drugs. So when you're using steroids, thyroid hormone, the effects get multiplied, so to speak, meaning you're getting more gains, you're handling nutrition better. So the dosages run about 4 IUs for sane people up to 20 something. 4 IUs seems to be the sweet point. That means there's not too many side effects and people do quite well with it. What do I think about it? I think it is a really good hormone for people that are being drug tested. If you compete in a sport where you're being drug tested, growth hormone is great because it's non-detectable. If you're on the cusp of making Mr. Olympia or whatever, growth hormone will not give you an extra 50% as advertised, but it will give you an extra 15% of gains that otherwise you wouldn't be getting. So that's pretty substantial. For normal people, I don't think it's a good choice for 2 reasons. There's the price point and there's side effects. So people using it in a sane way, short-term use, couple weeks, 4 use, probably okay. But there can be carpal tunnel because it grows the ligaments. There can be Neanderthalism. I remember Andrew the Giant, he produced too much growth hormone and eventually died from it. And then there's certain cancers that might be lingering on your body would be speed up. The big benefit of growth hormone is recovery from injuries. So if you're suffering from, let's say, a torn triceps or so, growth hormone would do really well with your recovery. So that would be a case where it could be used. Otherwise, I feel that people who just want to be a little bit bigger or stronger should simply go the route of the tried and true, testosterone, HRT way, and not spend $1,500 on something that will give them only a marginal bump in results. I think the price point, both for fat loss and for muscle growth, is simply not worth it. Again, you're pro athlete, you're being drug tested, or you have an injury, that's a different story. But for the rest of us, save your money, buy food from it, it's not worth it. Number 2, insulin. Insulin is an interesting hormone, to say the least. So it really revolutionized bodybuilding in the 90s. I mean, if you look at bodies now, there's basically people on a regional amateur level are bigger than Arnold ever was or so. And one of the reasons is that, okay, we know more about training, nutrition, and so on and so forth, but it's also the use of insulin. Insulin is a messenger hormone. It tells the body, or the muscle cell, to take in more glycogen. So in a very watered down short version, the athlete can eat more carbohydrates without getting fat, thereby building more muscle. Also can recover quicker because glycogen stores are being refilled quicker and you can train more often. Wow, great, right? It's awesome. Well, here's my problem with it. Insulin is the only drug in the bodybuilding arsenal that can actually kill you with one application. So nobody has ever died from an overdose of steroids. Fat burners, you gotta try really hard to overdose in one sitting. Insulin, if one time and one time only, you miscalculate your carb intake and your insulin intake, you're done. So that, to me, makes it tricky hormone. There's two kinds of insulin, longer acting and short acting hormones. Most bodybuilders prefer the shorter acting, basically combined with a high carb meal. So for every IU they're using about 15 grams of carbohydrates, thereby they're being able to take in more. Usually there's a 2 to 3 applications, sometimes 4 applications in a day. So again, somebody who's a responsible adult can probably handle insulin properly. Meaning this person uses it not too long to avoid getting diabetes in the long run or cancer cell growth. And the person will get additional muscle growth. To me, it's simply too complicated. So if you have something in your backpack that can kill you, and you constantly have to think about, do I have enough jelly beans? Where do I go if I don't have enough carbohydrates? What am I going to do? Like, I mean, for instance, for me, I have family, I have a business. I'm not going to use something that, because I'm going to be posing an immediate threat to my life. So I feel, even though insulin is legal, which gives it sort of the appearance of it's safe because you can just buy it in the pharmacy, I feel it should be handled very, very cautiously, and I think it's not needed for most people. So neither is growth hormone. So in closing, both hormones are great if you're drug tested, because then they're undetectable and you get the benefits. Growth hormone is also interesting if you have an injury and you come back from that, you will heal much quicker and much better. Otherwise, I would advise against the use of either for the recreational athlete. Side effects can be very severe, such as death. And the added benefits, I don't think are worth it. Because none of us, I think, wants to look like Ronnie or Jay, 280, that kind of mass. I think most of us just want to look good at the beach. And for that, none of these drugs are necessary. And why put the added risk on your body? Okay? Thank you, and we shall speak soon.